Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
Saturday.
I didn't say you were a dummy!
Who likes disability?
I don't do business with freaks.
Make him an outcast. The Young Riders. Then.
I don't think we're gonna get her out alive.
Please don't let my baby die.
Everybody's Baby. The rescue of Jessica McClure. Saturday.
Straight ahead on Eyewitness News, a murder in Montgomery, Minnesota. A father is shot to death. Police search for his son. I'm Lou Harvin. I'll have that story.
I would like to look at this experience as a positive one.
Visiting Bulgarians accept an apology after a strange incident at a St. Anthony store. And on the day before Easter, a house fire leaves 9 children homeless in Minneapolis. Plus, rebuilding the Minnehaha. One day it may again cruise the waters of Lake Minnetonka. The news is next.
A professional salesperson is an invaluable help in finding the fabric, color, style, and size suit or coat that are just right for you. An expert tailor is essential for a perfect fit, and after-purchase free re-alterations assure you of maximum comfortable wear. At Foreman & Clark, we know our low prices and high-quality fabrics and construction are only the initial step in making you a customer for life. And that's what Foreman & Clark wants, your dress clothing business for life.
Check this out. What you got there, Magic? Chicken, looks good. Spicy chicken. How about passing some of that chicken over here? Yeah, man, I'm open. This stuff may be a little too hot for you guys to handle. They don't call me Magic for nothing.
Right now, get a 3-piece hot deal for just $2.99. That's 3 pieces of chicken, small mashed potatoes with gravy, small coleslaw, and a biscuit for just $2.99. Offer ends April 7th.
It's morning, and another day. There are kids to get dressed, breakfast to be made. But for a few moments, you have a little time to think of what this is all about. What it's about is big people helping little people to be big themselves one day. It's not easy. But what else could you possibly do that could ever be so important? MJB wishes you a good morning and a wonderful day.
You're watching KSTP Channel 5, St. Paul, Minneapolis. Now, live from your 24-hour news channel, Stan Turner and the entire Eyewitness News team. This is Eyewitness News.
Murder shakes up a small community in rural Minnesota. A father is dead in this home, and the murderer still on the loose tonight. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. Sheriff's deputies in LeSueur County have found what they believe is the murder weapon. They say a shotgun blast killed 43-year-old Robert Trichka at his home near Montgomery, but they haven't found the person who pulled the trigger. Lou Harvin has been talking with the murdered man's relatives, and Lou joins us now from the control center. Lou?
Stan, this murder investigation has now spread throughout the Twin City area as police have put out an all-points bulletin for a teenager who is 17 years old. Now, some family members are not only shocked tonight, but quite bitter about what happened yesterday evening.
LeSueur County deputies searched the area around the Trichka home this afternoon in their attempt to find anything to help them in this case. A case family members say is the result of a family feud that has been growing over the years. The victim, Robert Trichka, was a cabinet maker who apparently came home yesterday, but minutes later, he was shot in the chest with a shotgun. Now, police say a 17-year-old son who was visiting for the weekend is wanted for questioning. The boy's grandfather has his own opinion of what happened.
And he had a big bag with a bunch of clothes. And I think the gun was hidden in that bag.
We do not know what led to the shooting, but this is what Adolf Trichka told us happened. Before Robert Trichka came home yesterday, 2 of his sons were there. The 13-year-old told police his 17-year-old brother locked him in this tool shed. He managed to break out by smashing windows and then ran to neighbors for help. By the time police arrived, they found the boy's father, Robert Trichka, dead in his home. The victim's mother, Margaret, says there has been tension within the family since the divorce 2 years ago. She is not surprised. Police are looking for her grandson.
Bob must have come home, went in a house, and he killed him. I bet that Bob did not have a word to say to him, and he shot him. I don't think Bob argued with his son. I think he just shot him, just got crazy.
Now, police say the 17-year-old was last seen yesterday driving away in a green 1982 four-door AMC. Now, the license plate is NLR814. Police departments throughout the Twin City area have been notified, and if you have any information, they would like to hear from you. Stan?
All right, Lou, thank you. Minneapolis police are also investigating a couple of murders. A Minneapolis man is dead following an early morning stabbing. A man was stabbed to death here at 2422 14th Avenue South. That was just after 3 this morning. The victim, 25-year-old Sylvester Peak, Jr. Peak was stabbed in the chest. The police department's juvenile division is investigating. And the medical examiner is now identifying a man found murdered yesterday as 25-year-old Joshua Johnson. His body was discovered in his home at 3018 Fremont Avenue North in Minneapolis. An autopsy shows Johnson died of a gunshot wound to the head. More upsetting news from Minneapolis. A 2-alarm house fire destroyed the home of 9 children and 3 adults today, leaving them with nothing but the clothes on their backs. Firemen say an apparent problem with wiring sparked the fire. Minnie Johnson was home alone with her 8 children and grandchildren when the fire started.
You don't know how I feel. You just don't know how I feel. Ain't got nothing. Ain't got nothing. Ain't got nothing.
Minnie Johnson's daughter-in-law tried to comfort her. The children, ranging in age from 3 months to 12 years, stood huddled around, while across the street the flames completed the destruction.
I heard the baby crying, and the whole smoke, the whole room was full of smoke. I seen a little flame at the top. And I said, fire, fire, everybody. I said, get the kids out, get the kids out. I said, somebody help me put the fire out. Somebody help me put the fire out.
No one could put the fire out. All Minnie Johnson could do was grab her kids and help them run for their lives.
He was in the room. He was in the room. I had a feel for him. I had a feel for him. And the twins went back in there, and I had a holler for them. I couldn't even see him. I couldn't even see him. I don't know what to do now. We lost everything. We didn't have much. We go to church, I try to live it the right way, but we ain't got nothing now. We ain't got nothing. They didn't say nothing.
The Red Cross is supplying Minnie Johnson's family with food through this weekend, and her church, Community Covenant in North Minneapolis, is setting up a food and clothing drive for the 9 children and the adults. A trip to a Twin Cities grocery store by some Bulgarian dignitaries has turned into a diplomatic incident. Yesterday, the Bulgarians were forced to leave a St. Anthony grocery store when the management thought they were gypsies shoplifting. This morning, a high-ranking diplomat, the St. Anthony mayor, and a grocery store executive all offered their formal apologies to the Bulgarian group. But Art Sassy reports the incident's still not over.
This group of Bulgarian parliament members and journalists have spent the past 3 days in the Twin Cities as part of their American tour learning how media works in a democratic society. Little did they know a tourist trip to this grocery store yesterday in St. Anthony would give them quite a lesson.
It was just very, very mortifying.
I felt my head bursting.
We definitely feel bad here. What happened was strictly a case of misidentification.
Vern Berggren runs the Apache New Market and has seen plenty of stories like this, where gypsies have cleaned up Twin City area stores, and he's heard plenty of warnings.
The description was either Eastern or gypsy-looking type people, and when they spoke with a foreign accent.
Of course, the Bulgarians knew none of this when they entered Vern Berggren's store.
I knew that something was wrong almost immediately after I entered the store, because there was this announcement going on continuously.
All the shoppers beware, watch your purses.
I said, well, I'm being protected. But it came out afterwards that it was us against whom they were warning.
They fit the description and fit the operations of how they went through a store.
He said, I want you out of the store. I don't want your kind of people in my store.
Police were called and phone calls made, but this didn't seem to help.
I said, I'm a member of Parliament. I have my credentials with me. So would you please explain why you are behaving like that to me? And he was very rude.
We told them, we apologized to them. If they weren't the gypsies and they are diplomats from a foreign country, we certainly apologize for this circumstance. And if they were the gypsies, we certainly would like them to get out faster.
The Bulgarian group says they heard no apologies until this morning.
I apologize for anything that we may have done.
St. Anthony Mayor Clarence Canalo apologized along with an executive from SuperValue, the chain that serves the Apache New Market.
I have a small token.
But while the Bulgarians got their complimentary pocket knives, Vern Bergman organized an Easter egg hunt at his store for the neighborhood children. His lack of presence was noted.
And I find that very sad.
Bergman says he simply had no idea there was any apologizing taking place this morning and denies any discrimination.
The appearance wasn't as much as the actions. You know, that's what disturbed everybody. You know, I could list you 12 things, but I don't think that's important. No, I think we just got to drop it, and we apologize to them then and today again.
The Bulgarians seem satisfied, willing to count this as a valuable lesson learned in how American media responds and democracy works. Art Sassy, Channel 5, Eyewitness News.
State Department officials say they are still trying to decide if they'll file human rights charges next week. Well, just ahead on our news here, checking in at the curb is back in style out at the airport. And if ferries ever come back in style, the Minnehaha will be ready. It spent more than 50 years at the bottom of Lake Minnetonka. Look what's happening to it now.
Time is running out. Now is the best time to get a new Eagle Talon or Eagle Summit. Because for a limited time, we're giving giant cash back on the racy Eagle Talon Sports Coupe. Plus, get a great price on the roomy Eagle Summit 3-door. So don't let time run out on you. Hurry to your Jeep and Eagle dealer today and save like you've never saved before. There's no better time to buy. Hurry in today.
See your Great Northern Jeep and Eagle dealer, where you can expect the best.
This Friday and Saturday, everything's on sale at Best Buy. You know, I could get a camcorder, a VCR, a big powerful stereo, a bigger refrigerator, a portable CD player, a fax machine, a car stereo, and a computer that will do everything for me. I hear everything's on sale at Best Buy, and I start to think about everything I really want to have. But I'm a realist. I'm going to go to Best Buy, and I'm going to get a new TV, because you got to start somewhere.
Somehow the news is getting around about Dunkin' Donuts.
My donut's coming up to 52 varieties with no cholesterol.
Dunkin' Donuts now with no cholesterol.
This is it. The mega sale. Where else but Slumberland? The store-wide sale that only happens twice a year with savings that happen once in a lifetime. This is one event you can't afford to miss, and here's why. We're not just talking big savings. We're talking mega. Great choices, incredible prices, and no payments or interest for 3 full months. The mega sale at Slumberland ends soon. Be there. This is one big deal.
5. The Pistons are playing without Isaiah. Could this be the Wolves' chance to beat the bad boys in Detroit? Catch all the action when the Timberwolves take on the Detroit Pistons. Friday at 7, here on your Timberwolves station, Channel 5.
For military men and women home from the Gulf, Easter weekend is a chance to catch up with family and friends. Airman Eric Johnson spent the day celebrating with loved ones, listening to stories about the war. Johnson served nearly 7 months in Saudi Arabia, and here's what he missed the most.
Being able to do, you know, what you want, when you want, get in your car and go somewhere, being able to change the temperature on the showers.
Johnson will return to his base at Grand Forks, and his plans also include going back to school. The end of the war is making travel easier for passengers out at Twin Cities International Airport. The government is allowing airports to lift some security measures, and that means curbside baggage check-in is now okay. As you can see, airlines are already resuming that service. Volunteers are hammering life back into a steamboat that used to shuttle people across Lake Minnetonka. You may remember 10 years ago, the Minnehaha was pulled up from the bottom of the lake after spending 54 years underwater. It's one of 7 ferries that operated in the early 1900s as an extension of the city's streetcar lines. And today, volunteers began a major step in the Minnehaha's renovation. The summer-long project of re-ribbing the boat starts with the steaming and careful insertion of the ship's wooden frames.
When the boat's finished, it'll run between Excelsior and Wayzata with some restaurant stops in between.
The Minnehaha will return to the waters of Lake Minnetonka in 3 or 4 years. We will return with the forecast, a lot quicker than that. Just a couple of minutes. Stay tuned.
Uh-oh! Forgot to add the fabric softener!
If only she knew about Solo. You can't forget the softener in Solo, because Solo is detergent and fabric softener in one. Look, these muddy sweatshirts came out clean, but Solo's clean is so soft it's fluffed up higher.
No, don't you feel good?
Next time, get Solo. It cleans with a softness you can't forget.
You should know that if you have an accident, it's your right to choose your own auto body repair facility. It's a law. No one can tell you where to have your vehicle repaired. So when looking for the right body shop, look for repair technicians that are ASE or ICAR certified. Ask if original equipment replacement parts will be used, and find out if the body shop gives written guarantees. Remember, you've paid for a quality repair. You might as well get what you paid for.
This message has been brought to you by the Automotive Service Association.
Upon its introduction, the first Acura Legend set a new standard for performance sedans. But as impressive as that may have been, it was merely a reflection of things to come. Introducing the new Legend from Acura.
I could sure use my tax refund now.
With H&R Block's Rapid Refund, you don't have to wait.
Great, but I'm no sort of cash right now.
With Rapid Refund, you don't need any money.
What's that?
We file your federal return electronically with the IRS, and a refund loan is on its way to you in a matter of days. You don't need any cash because all fees are deducted from your check. Available whether H&R Block prepares your return or not.
Now that's the way it ought to be.
That's Rapid Refund from H&R Block.
We have something of an Easter bonnet alert for you today. If you're
Yeah.
planning on wearing that kind of headgear tomorrow, you better hang on to it, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be windy. A few gusts up around 40 miles per hour, so unless you have it tied down here, you best hold on to that bonnet because winds are going to be rather gusty. But at least temperatures will be pretty mild. We'll be up towards 50 degrees tomorrow and then into the 50s by Monday. So certainly an improving weather situation. An improving weather situation is certainly what they need in parts of North Carolina. Up to a dozen tornadoes touched down in the state of North Carolina. Other states affected were South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. Now, this is pretty close to Raleigh-Durham. This is some of the damage, actually the cleanup after the tornadoes yesterday, and you can see it's still raining down there. However, skies are now beginning to clear for that part of the country. Currently outside, this is what we have. 40 degrees, relative humidity 67%. Winds out of the south at 16, and the barometric pressure is falling from 29.95 inches. Weather almanac, high temperature today, 42 degrees. That's still 4 degrees below average. Record, 83 degrees, and that was set in 1968. Low temperature this morning, 17 degrees. The record low, 3 degrees below zero, and that was set back in 1923. So far, no precipitation to report, but as we'll see in just a moment on radar, we do have some showers in the area, and the sun is going to set tomorrow at 6:38. Okay, we're talking about those showers. Yeah, if you were outside today, we didn't have any showers. Pretty nice day. This is out in Wayzata, and just a light coat needed. Temperatures getting into the 40s today. Not a bad day. Still, obviously, some ice left on the lake, but give it a couple of weeks. We should be able to get rid of that ice. So we have the showers in the area. We'll keep the showers for the next couple of hours. Let's take a look at those showers right now, and you'll be able to see them off to our west from just south of St. Cloud down towards Redwood Falls, all moving off to the northeast, most of it in the form of rain. However, it could be mixed with a little bit of snow, and it's still a good hour to maybe 2 hours away from the city. So let's see, it's about 6 o'clock now, a little after 6. Between the hours of about 7:30 and 9 o'clock is when we could see a shower or two of rain. Satellite view shows the clouds that are moving in from the northwest. Here's the system that caused all the tornadoes in the southeast moving out to sea. This system is moving through here, and behind it we do have some milder air. Already up to 43 degrees in Alexandria, 47 in Fargo. Some snow in International Falls and Duluth with 34 degrees, but that cold air is going to be moving out of here. Here's the leading edge of the warmer air, mild Pacific air covering much of the state already with temperatures into the 40s. Now, the really warm stuff is going to stay just down to our southwest for tomorrow before slowly but surely creeping northward. Highs for most of us will be in the 40s tomorrow with 50s likely to the south and to the west of the Twin Cities. So the forecast for tonight does call for a rain shower, maybe even a little snow mixed in. Then our skies should partially clear later on. And then for tomorrow morning, partly cloudy skies, a nice start to your Easter Sunday with a temperature of 31. For the day, tomorrow, Easter, not a bad one, partly cloudy, Windy, but warmer. High temperatures pretty close to 50 degrees. Tomorrow night, mostly clear skies, low temperatures back into the upper 20s, and on Monday, a beautiful day. Less windy. That will be the key on Monday. Mostly sunny, high temperatures 51 to 56. Extended outlook. We throw a 60-degree reading in there on Tuesday. Then we get some showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday and start a modest cooling trend as we head toward Thursday. So a pretty nice day tomorrow, except for the wind, which will be gusting up to 30, 35 miles per hour.
Boy, this past week was weird, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
74 degrees on
74.
Tuesday and right back into winter.
And just missed the snowstorm. Parts of the southern metro, 4 or 5 inches of snow the next day.
Too close.
Yeah.
Thank you, folks. Straight ahead here, in sports, we'll take you out to the Met Center, where North Star Brass is jumping for sellout joy. A capacity crowd will be watching the North Stars battle Chicago tonight in Bloomington as these two clubs get ready for playoffs, probably against each other. Eric Gislason has it all for you next.
My husband Mark and I planned on a lot of things. A nice house, sending our son to college, and a comfortable retirement. We didn't plan on his early death. Mark made a lot of promises.
Don't worry, Mom, I'll study hard.
And you know, he kept those promises.
Protect your family's dreams. See a Farm Bureau agent about life insurance. The Farm Bureau family. Our most important policy is caring.
You got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. Latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In-Between. That's right. Accentuate the positive.
Upon its introduction, the first Acura Legends set a new standard for performance sedans. But as impressive as that may have been, it was merely a reflection of things to come. Introducing the new Legend from Acura.
North Stars hockey, take one. Here they come, they're playing. All right, relax, move the camera, left. Hey, come on now, what a save! Did you get it? I remember, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? All right, now, come on, get number 4. You're number 4. I got him. Look at it! Huh? Did you get the goal? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I saw it. I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Okay, smart guy, you try running this camera.
Order a pair of 91-92 season tickets, and we'll give you one more free.
Well, that's appropriate, that commercial, isn't it, huh?
Yeah. Stars and Hawks tonight?
Going to be a rare sight out there, folks. All filled up.
If these two clubs were in last place, it may be all filled up.
Yeah, that's always a...
Yeah, it's
black and
not quite a done deal because the Hawks still need to point to clinch the North Division in order to meet the Stars in the first round of playoffs. But the Stars are definitely thinking Chicago tonight in a regular season frame of mind. It's the 8th and final regular season meeting between the two clubs. And if you look at the previous meetings from this season, it's hard to imagine why most of the North Stars are preferring Chicago to St. Louis in the playoffs. Minnesota won 5-1 against the Hawks. Last time these two clubs bashed heads was last Sunday at Chicago Stadium. The Blackhawks led 5-1 after 2 periods before the Stars rallied back to within a goal. Brian Bellows' final tally made it 5-4. Still, whether it be the Blues or the Hawks, Stars are liking their postseason chances.
I'd rather play St. Louis. I mean, you know, they got Hall, and you know he's their big sniper. But I think if you can control that line, I mean, we can definitely outscore the rest of those lines. But Chicago's a little harder to play because in their rink they forecheck so hard, and it's a lot harder for defensemen.
The team has gotten better and better all year long. I think we've played a good, disciplined style of hockey, but I think it's been a very exciting style of hockey as well. You know, we've won a lot of games lately. We've beaten a lot of the top teams in the NHL, which is kind of the goal we set to ourselves. For ourselves after it looked like we had a playoff spot, and I think we're going to hit the playoffs just in stride.
Tonight's Stars-Hawks game is certain to be a sellout. Just a few single seats remain, and they're certain to be snarfed up by the walk-up customers. That's certain to bring a smile to the face of Stars owner Norman Green, who joins us live from the Sports Center tonight. And Norm, it took you a while, but you get your first sellout tonight for the last regular season home game of the season. How's it feel?
It's pretty exciting, Eric. It's finally we have a sellout. We hope it's the first of many. Excitement is back at the Met Center. We're pretty proud of it.
our cameras have caught up to your ritual in between periods and sometimes before the game before. We have some video of you mingling, if you will, in the mezzanine. Norm, is selling out tonight make this a great deal more satisfying now, or what's the reason?
Well, of course, it's satisfying, but it's only a thing of an indicator of what are things to come. We're pretty excited about the most important thing is that our season ticket base now is 1,700 over last year, and that's really the big indicator to indicate that we will have a lot of season ticket sellouts.
Are you disappointed it took this long to sell out?
I'm a little surprised. I thought it would happen earlier, but I've gotten to learn this market the more I've been around, and I guess in retrospect it was probably correct. But the fact of the matter is that we're on the right track. We know we're going to be successful now, and we think next year we'll see a lot of sellouts. We know we will.
Norm, we thank you for hustling in from California. Congratulations on your first full house.
I wouldn't miss this game for anything.
Okay, thanks, Norm. Stars and Hawks tonight, 7:35 at the Sports Center. You may have to pay the piper to a scalper if you want to see that one. It would be interesting to see if the Stars game would be a sellout tonight if the Hockey Gophers were playing for a national championship across town at the Civic Center. We'll never know, of course, since the Gophers are out of contention. The two clubs that are still in contention play tonight. Northern Michigan takes on Boston U. NMU has never won it all. The two finalists for the NCAA basketball championship game will be settled tonight. Right now, Kansas leads North Carolina 61-57, second half. UNLV and Duke meet later for the second semifinal game. The two winners play for all of the marbles Monday night in Indianapolis. The Twins rallied with 3 runs in the 8th inning to trip the Tigers 3-2 today in Lakeland, Florida. Greg Gagne capped off the rally with a single that scored Lenny Webster. Jack Morris allowed 2 runs, 6 hits against his former teammates. And at the Metrodome, the Gophers and Notre Dame in day 2 of the Oscar Mayer Baseball Classic. This game belonged to the Irish early. Matt Haas singles to left center, bringing home Eric Danapolis to make it 5-2. But the Gophers answer with 7 unanswered runs to win 9-5. They will play Stanford tomorrow at 1:15. Paul Azinger has the lead after 3 rounds of the Players Golf Championship in Florida. But that's almost enough. The Timberwolves meet the Trailblazers tonight in Portland. The Blazers have won 5 straight. Boxer Sugar Ray Leonard admitted today that he has used cocaine. He did so in the 1980s because of his failing marriage with his ex-wife. During the late 80s, Leonard led an anti-drug campaign. He says he had stopped his cocaine abuse by then, although. Also in football, the Green Bay Packers have agreed to terms with Plan B free agent quarterback Mike Tomczak. Tomczak has spent all 6 seasons with the Bears. The Packers also invited Jim McMahon to work out with the team. So, Stan, maybe a little bit of a reunion.
That would be interesting, yeah. Nice to see Bobby Smith. He had a few comments there. Bobby Smith, the North Stars. Too bad he ever had to leave the club. He was really the glue that held that together. So nice he's back. I'd love to see that game tonight.
On a positive note, he's got a couple of Stanley Cup rings, and he can tell some of the younger guys from the team what it takes to win it.
Up there in Montreal.
There you go.
Thanks, Eric. When we come back here, Arnie Carlson and the great Easter egg hunt. The governor joins the kids and the bunny for a romp at the mansion.
Dear Walgreens, I'd like to tell you about my experience. I was visiting from out of state when my wife got seriously ill. She required numerous medications, so I appreciate the low prices at Walgreens. And I'd like to thank your pharmacists. They were very considerate. Being 1,100 miles from home made Walgreens service that much sweeter.
Walgreens is hippity-hopping with Easter values. Everything you need to fill your Easter basket, from candy to toys, plus the basket itself, all at Walgreens.
Concerned about chemical pesticides in your dog's food? New Nature's Course uses grains grown without pesticides. Concerned about artificial preservatives in your dog's food? There are no artificial preservatives in New Nature's Course.
When a man comes to Kuppenheimer and pays only $265 for a suit that would have cost him $400 somewhere else, he feels like celebrating. And with the money he saved, he can afford to. The Premier Edition suit, only at Kuppenheimer. America's #1 value clothier for men.
Life is full of surprises, like the remarkable value of Mercury Topaz. So many standard features, it may surprise you. but the price sure won't. Mercury Topaz. Simply more of a great value at your Lincoln Mercury dealer now.
Please do join us again for Eyewitness News tonight at 10 o'clock. We will talk with 4 women back from a bone-chilling expedition. Anne Bancroft, who went with Will Steger up to the North Pole a couple years ago, and some other adventurers return from a practice trip to Canada's Northwest Territories. They are getting ready for an even bigger trip, namely across the Antarctic. We'll have more on that story tonight at 10 o'clock right here. Time right now for the rite of spring, the Easter egg hunt. The hunt master, Governor Carlson himself. He invited neighbor kids to the mansion this morning for stories and games. Then on to the hunt. About 60 children plucked eggs hidden in the grass in the governor's backyard. Governor Carlson and his wife Susan say they plan to do this every year. Boy, I think they'll have a lot of takers for that, like one right there. We'll see you here at 10 o'clock tonight. Please do join us. Good evening, everybody.
Watching this program has been known to cause some viewers to regress to a childlike state, where uncontrollable fits of laughter render them incoherent and unable to recognize shapes, sounds, or authority figures with any degree of proper decorum. If you are one of these people, welcome to the club. Now, let's get ready for a holiday on ice.
Okay, boys.